Yeah,
What?
I don't know, a lot of people that owners, they mail it in and they just don't understand. They don't have that customer service mindset. They're just trying to squeeze out a dollar and it hurts them in the long run. Well, I mean, I personally have vacationed down there for 20 some years.
Mm.
So, I put myself in the client's shoes. And what they're doing is they're making memories with their families.
Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Cody Crabb with Investor Fuel. Today we're joined by Jon Street. John's going to give us some great advice here. We've been chatting a little bit. Jon, thanks so much for joining us.
To be here.
So Jon, give me the quick version of your real estate journey. Like, how did you even get interested in it in the first place?
Well, I think it's someone said once that buy real estate, they're not making any more of it. So
I like that.
I've kind of taken that to heart.
Yeah, I like that. So, what started you? Like, what made you want to do your first deal? Were you investing in anything else, and that this came up?
Well, for most people, their first major real estate investment is their own home.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
over the years, I was able to, pay my home off. And then I liked it so much and the appreciation on, a physical property like that. I was like, how can I get a passive income? So I've been vacationing in, like Myrtle Beach for the last, 20 something years. So I ended up investing down in Myrtle Beach in condos and then renting them out through, Airbnb, Vrbo, and direct rentals.
Gotcha. So
And
is it exclusively short-term rentals right now?
yes, we do look for snowbirds in the off season, like 3 or 4 months. Which like if someone from New York or Canada or somebody wants to get away, that's awesome. That's a wonderful option for us, and those rates vary depending on the season.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So this very first deal in the condo complex, I'm curious. So how many units is it?
2. Yeah, we
Two
have we
units.
have we have 2 units in 2 different locations.
Gotcha. Okay. So this first deal, looking for that first deal, where did you go to? What did it look like? Like, where did you go to find it? Was it like a good mix of coincidence and good luck, or was it one of those like you just tripped into it kind of things?
No, we definitely were looking. I had some issues in my personal life, and I had to liquidate a condo that I owned. But I don't have those complications anymore, so I wanted to get back into it. And the thing with real estate, as everyone knows, also another thing is location, location, location. That is hugely important. So if you're going to have rentals, you have to kind of see what your budget and your financing can put you. The closer to the beach you are, the better,
Sure.
because you can command higher rates.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'm no expert, but I feel like that. Yeah, that tracks. That seems that seems right.
yes.
Uh, um. Cool. Yeah. Well. Okay. So what types of borrowers have you worked with thus far? Is it your own capital, or how's that worked so far?
It's been my own capital, getting, loans. One condo is paid off, and the other one still has a mortgage, but we're working
Gotcha. Okay.
with other
So
people's money.
yeah. Okay. So just out of curiosity, what's been What's been the hardest part about the short-term rentals specifically? I mean, you said you're vacationing there. How far are you from the actual units?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, I live in New York, upstate New York, but
Well, yeah, that's pretty far. That's pretty far. What's been the biggest challenge for you in the way of short-term rentals?
the ongoing expenses outside of the mortgage would probably be the biggest challenge with the HOA fees, and most recently the ever rising insurance costs for flood insurance due to insurance companies really taking some hits over some hurricanes in the past
That
years.
makes sense. Yeah. Because, yeah, it's on the coast. That's pretty much, I mean, you can't really get around that. So that makes a lot of sense. And luckily, you haven't had any issues with actual hurricanes hitting, I'm hoping. That'd be a lot more.
It's been really light the last few years, but I mean, they come through. You might, you got to worry about storm surges and water coming up. But
Yeah.
my units are close to the beach, but not on the beach. So
There you
I haven't
go.
had an issue
That's the way
like
to do
that.
it. That's good. That's good. All right. So as far as short-term rentals, I'm just kind of curious because in real estate, you can go different ways. You kind of pick a lane when you're starting out. I'm curious, what made you want to do short-term rentals instead of long-term rentals?
I think you can generate more revenue.
Yeah. I mean, in a literal sense, that's definitely true. So as far like, do you work with a property management company? Do you work with an individual? Like how do you work that since you live so far away?
Well, we kind of have a multiple, prong strategy. We went with Vrbo. We think their approach is just easier, better than Airbnb. Vrbo, they take care of a lot of the administrative stuff, taxes, things like that, which is nice. But what we tend to do is once we get a Vrbo client and then they come in, then we we try to move them into a direct rentals to get
Mm,
repeat customers, and we've had a lot of success doing that. And then our margins go up.
yeah, sure. Because you don't have to give them a cut. That's great. Um,
Right.
that's smart. So what are some ways that you've done that? Like, what are some tricks that you've used to get them to book directly with you instead of through the apps?
Uh, Customer service, communication, follow up, reminders, and mostly, I'm actually my partner is my mother, and she lives near Myrtle Beach in the area.
Well,
She's
that's good.
local, and she's really the mastermind. She's that grandma that everybody likes, and she gives them puts things in the condo for people, like depending on what they like. A bottle of wine, a complimentary bottle of wine for people and guests is worth every penny, and because you're going to get repeat people, because people don't get customer service in this world in anything, and when they see it, it's such a refreshing thing for them that you've got some loyal customers and some repeat
Yeah,
business.
definitely every time I get some kind of benefit in something, I think it's a trap somehow nowadays because it's like, oh, that if I saw that, I'd be like, I have to pay for that. There's no way. This is
Right.
basically a mini bar in an Airbnb because so I wouldn't trust it. But that's true. That's having something complimentary is like a great way to, and it really like, how much does it cost really? Like if you throw some extra, here's a pair of slippers to take home with you, like that's such a nice little thing you can do that costs almost nothing. That is like that would be a memorable thing forever that they got some slippers to take home, or they have they got something like that. I think that can really make a difference, especially if they want to book directly with you, because you're trying to get them to book with you specifically.
Correct.
That's a good way to do that, I think.
A
Yeah, keep
important
going.
point to build on top of that, it's super important to respond quickly when there's an issue. People, you get all kinds of different individuals in there. Some are more technically savvy than others. If there's a problem with television, if there's a problem with TV, if there's a problem with air conditioning or anything, the faster you respond and overcome those obstacles for them is immensely important, because they spend a lot of money to go vacation, and they're not there for issues.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Sure. Yeah, I'm thinking in my head, like if I'm on vacation and I have a limited time there and the AC is broken, I'm gonna be furious if I can't get that figured out on my vacation. So that makes a lot of sense. Like you got to be a little more like responsive than you would say in a long-term rental, because you're only going to be around them for this a little amount of time, and you
Typically
have
a
this
week.
window to, yeah,
We
and you've
have a
got this
minimum
little
of
window
3
to make sure you
days.
make a good impression, and yeah, that makes a
Right.
lot of sense. So what's something that you've done with your investment that's kind of been a big a change that you made that ended up being like, I'm really glad we made that change kind of thing?
Well, I guess with the newest condo that we purchased, we revamped it. It needed a facelift. I mean, as far as changes go, it had good bones, as they say, but it was dark, dark walls and stuff like that. So basically, it's amazing what a fresh coat of paint and some new carpet and things like that, just sprucing it up a little bit, new furniture, new, lamps and stuff like that, new mattresses. Some of these rentals are notorious for the worst mattresses.
And which
Just,
is so
those
funny,
kind of
because
things.
why? Like, what really? How much are you actually saving by getting a cheap mattress? You're not. Just get a good one. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've definitely run into that before. Like I've rented an Airbnb or something and been like, "Are you kidding me with this? Like,
Yeah,
what?"
people, I don't know, a lot of people that owners, they mail it in and they just don't understand. They don't have that customer service mindset. They're just trying to squeeze out $1, and it hurts them in the long run.
Yeah. Well, that's extra funny to me because you're in short-term rentals.
Mhm.
And you would think that means you can kind of get away with more because you're like, they're only there for a little while. But what you're really saying is like, no, you only have a little while to make a really good impression because you want them to come back. So I think that's a really good point. Making something unforgettable in a short-term rental is probably way more important than just your typical landlord down the street. So that's true.
Well, I mean, I personally have vacationed down there for 20 some years.
Mm.
So, I put myself in the client's shoes, and what they're doing is they're making memories with their families. And if they have positive, experiences, and that's really what you're providing is this experience, then they're going to come back. And we've had a great success with it. We've had people come back 3, 4, 5 times. We have people like, hey, we want to buy now in the area because of us. So I go, well,
Wow.
stay at
There
our
you go.
unit. Well, why are you looking?
Yeah, wow, that's great. See, and I think that's I mean, I've stayed at many like different places like Airbnbs and stuff back when it was a little more cost effective to stay at an Airbnb. But in those days, I do remember, I've had pretty much the gamut of situations, like someone's basement versus like they're trying to make like a short-term rental. And the one that really sticks out to me was we were in Seattle, and this lady was like, how are you, who are you bringing and what's going on? She's asking us some questions. And I mentioned that our like 1-year-old son was coming with us. And she said, oh, okay, I'll have a pack and play for you there. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Thank you. And when we got there, she'd bought it just for us. And I was like, okay, that's amazing, actually. And that's the only time I've ever repeated a rental like that, is when I had something like that. And I'm not going to say that's exactly the only reason why, but like that definitely helped. I was like, she really cares about this, and it's not a huge expense. So yeah, I think really the summary is like, if you look after the little things, you can really start to make a big impression.
It's so much easier to get repeat business instead of trying to find new clients.
Yeah. Yeah. You already know who they are. Yeah.
No, they're coming back because they want to be back. We're not even needing to find them. So you book up so much faster. It's less work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Why
know,
do
it's,
more work when you don't have to? I would
I mean,
agree with you.
we've done I think we did buy a pack and play for a family. We did that as well. Actually, it's funny. We put in, I mean, we had an older couple come in and they asked about like a handrail in the shower. So we had that installed. People remember that. If you care for them, they look at you like you're a friend. You're like an extended family member,
Seriously,
and that's
yeah.
the kind of reaction we've had from customers.
That's good. That's a really good piece of advice. I think like if you think about like that's also an investment because it's not you don't have to take it down even. Like that could just be
Correct,
a thing that's there now, and then congratulations, anyone else that asks about that, you can say, "Yep, we've already got that." So
correct, and
it's
it's
just
all a write off anyway.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. Well, cool. Okay, so another question I wanted to ask you about was, have you? Okay, let's see.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Okay. So we talked a little before about you maybe wanting to expand and get into more properties. Tell me what you're hoping that you can do going forward with real estate and what your plan is.
Well, as far as bigger dreams, I've always kind of joked about, instead of having a unit in these complexes, because like let's say one of the property locations is Arcadian Dunes in Myrtle Beach, and it's very nice. They have tennis court. There's a restaurant bar, two pools. It's nice for families, and I've been going there for 26 years, and that's where one of our units are. Well, they have like 12 units in a building. To have the entire building would be amazing to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah.
And
That
that's my
eliminates
building.
a lot of like potential issues. Yeah, it's all just in one spot. You don't have to go run back and forth and stuff. And yeah, I agree that that's a huge deal. So what roadblocks are you seeing and just on like a ground level, what's your kind of general, like, if I'm going to do that, then what's my plan kind of thing?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there, and you're looking at different ways to do it. It's like, how can I get another unit but not overextend your budgets, because that's how people get in trouble. As I think that Dave Ramsey got in trouble doing that early in his career. He
That's
bought all
ironic.
this stuff, and then they hit something, and then it fell like dominoes, and I want to avoid that. So I'll
Yeah,
go a little
sure.
slower, more pragmatic.
Sure.
I mean, there's a unit. There's actually a unit down there that has 10 full-time occupied apartments, and they're asking like 1.6. I think
Mm,
that's beyond my financing, unless I had other investors, and then it gets a lot more complicated.
of course. Yeah.
I'm a s- my thinking is slow and steady, and don't overextend. Make sure you have emergency funds and things like that, because things will break. Unexpected things will happen. You could
And
have
I would say probably
assessments.
I don't know for sure. I'm not a genius on this, but I'm assuming it happens a lot more in short-term rentals because
Well,
it
some guests are better than others.
right, exactly. Yeah.
But most recently, we had that cold snap in the country,
Mm,
and it dipped all the way down to us, and we had pipes burst because they froze in Myrtle Beach. Now I'm in New York. I
wow.
didn't have that problem, but in Myrtle
Yeah,
Beach it did, and
sure.
that was like a $1,400, got to fix it now because we have people coming in a week.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So you need that emergency fund. You need to make sure you're not overextended so that you don't get in a position where you have to take the shortcuts and hurt yourself in the long run.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. That's really good advice. Okay, so if someone wants to get in touch with you, or if they want to rent those lovely, lovely places out there, or just kind of have questions for you, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can. The easiest way to do it is to go to our website. We have a website that has pictures and explains everything about the condos and how to book them. It's the website is condorentalmyrtlebeach.com.
Easy to remember. Love it. And if someone wants to reach out to you directly, is there a different way to do that? Maybe like a LinkedIn or something?
Well, I'm Jon Street on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a cowboy hat on, but you know, I didn't pull that up. Let me see.
It's fine. I'm sure if they'll look for Cowboy John Street, I'm sure they will find Cowboy John Street.
What is my here I can put a link in here for you. It's basic, because I also started a photography business recently, so it's a Jon Street dash photo on LinkedIn.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, that's great, John. Thank you so much. I think this is kind of an interesting dive into like the short term world, and I think that you've got some really good advice in here. One last question before we end. Let's say you're in front of a bunch of people who are either interested in investing or they're investing for the very first time. I hand you the mic. What is the one thing that you're going to tell them that you think is going to save their life or like keep them from making a horrible mistake? Would you say it's take it slow and take it easy? That's what you seem to be like. That's my big thing. Is that what you'd say?
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to work with reputable people. I have realtors that I bought a condo from 20 years ago in Myrtle Beach area, and I'm personal friends with them today. And that makes a big deal because if you're dealing with like a reputable real estate agents that know the area, know the neighborhoods, and know the market, they can guide you for whatever goals an individual may have, and you'll avoid a lot of expensive issues.
All right, John, thank you so much for joining us today. If you're not subscribed to the podcast, please go ahead and do that. And listeners, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of Real Estate Pros.